Hey everybody, it's the 13th Wolfman, and you know what? I've been tagged. That's right. I've been tagged in a horror tag by DVD Collector 1974. So he did this in an interesting way. He tagged some people after the video. I was one of them. I'm gonna tag some people after the video. But he was nice enough to say, you know, if you're not into horror, which I am, I'm a horror hound. You could do the tag, but you have to do it in your favorite genre. If you like action films, if you like war movies, you know, whatever. The same questions will apply. You know, you'll just have to change the word horror to action or sci-fi or whatever. But do the tag your way that you want to do it. And I agree with that. So with that, let's start right now. Favorite opening in a horror film? I would say it has to be Halloween, 1978, because it sets up the movie. It sets up the movie very well, but it also doesn't give a lot away to the plot. So if you haven't seen the movie, Michael Myers is 5 years old. He's got his Halloween costume on. He goes upstairs and he grabs a knife and kills his older sister. Why? That's the great part about this opening. You are now curious of why a 5-year-old's going to kill his sister. So it sets it up and it kind of sucks you in. It's got a great, powerful beginning. Question number 2. Top 3 favorite horror movie quotes. Okay, so number 3, going backwards. Listen to the children of the night. Bela Lugosi in Dracula, just as he hears the wolves howl. I've always liked that phrase. Listen to the children of the night. Such a cool phrase. Second one, number 2. Damien, I'm doing it all for you. You know, I mean, it's from The Omen. It's where the babysitter, you know, kind of offs herself. But I've always liked that turn of phrase, Damien, I'm doing it all for you. It's like, that's the most messed up thing to tell a kid just before, you know, you do what you do. And of course, the number 1 is from one of my all-time favorite movies, and that is Psycho. And it is, we all go mad. We all go a little mad sometimes, from Psycho. Psycho is one of my all-time favorite movies. I mean, it's way up there. It's in a top 5, you know, of like favorite horror films of all time. A lot of people say it's a thriller, but I don't care. So let's get on to question number 3. When talking about The Shining, do you prefer Kubrick, the movie, or King, the novel? I'll be honest, I like Kubrick more than King. I remember reading The Shining back when I was a kid, you know, and I read it and I was like, that's a cool story. Then I find out, like, not much time later that King had released an unedited version of the book. So it's got like another 200 pages in it. Like, oh, okay, well, I'll read that. And again, I guess King didn't think he was done, so he put out the unabridged version, which was like another 400 pages. Much like The Stand. There's The Stand, there's The Shining. He's got like a couple of editions of each one where it's like super long. I'm just thinking to myself, go, dude, I can sit down, put Kubrick's movie in, and watch it, and it'll be done in 2 hours. I don't have to worry anymore. And honestly, this is only one of 2 movies by Stanley Kubrick that I even like. I like this, I like Full Metal Jacket. All the other stuff was just kind of like wayside stuff I just didn't really care for. Question number 4. Favorite creature in horror films? Well, dude, I'm the 13th Wolfman. I wonder what I'm going to say. Yep, that's right. I'm going to say the Wolfman or the werewolf. Always loved the mythos of the werewolf, you know. Silver can kill it. He turns only, depending on the movie you're watching, he turns only in a full moon, you know. A lot of times, you know, the werewolves, they're werewolves, yeah, but they're not trying to, it's kind of like a really bad joke. It's like, okay, you got cursed with werewolf, now you have to turn. It's not like you're a vampire where you're like, dude, you're undead. I mean, you have the vampire has a curse. He can't go out in sunlight. He can't eat garlic, garlic bread. He can't crosses that will affect him. Depending on depending on the mythos of the vampire that you're going by. Werewolves. It's like silver will hurt you and kill you. That's it. You could still walk around in the daylight because you're human. You have to depend on whether or not you have to turn at on a full moon or not. But still, the werewolf, man, the wolf man. Ow! Of course. Question number 5. What horror film do you dislike that others seem to love or like? Love is kind of a strong word, but like. With me, it's Jennifer's Body. I've seen it a few times now. It was written by Diablo Cody. It's just not that good. First off, Megan Fox's Jennifer, never found her really that attractive. The only good thing in this movie is Amanda Seyfried. And even then, her part is so watered down. Jennifer, is... The whole story is just dumb as far as movies go. I never liked it. I've tried watching it a few times. I've given it a second chance, a third chance, and I'm just kind of like, I don't get it. Okay, so, question number 6. In any scenario in a horror film, who would you like to be paired with to ensure your survival? Dude, of course I'm gonna go with if I'm going with the Wolfman as my favorite monster, I'm gonna go as my favorite, the classic monster hunter. Mostly he does vampires, so I don't have to really worry about him staking me or shooting me or whatever. We're talking about Van Helsing, Abraham Van Helsing. That's right, Dracula's worst enemy. Not mine so much, so I would hang out with Van Helsing. No problem. Question 7. If you're given creative control over one of your favorite horror films, what would you change in that? Now, I know a lot of people that would answer this question with, well, I wouldn't change anything. My favorite movie is, fill in blank here, and it's perfect. One of my favorite horror movies is The Wolfman. And there's a scene where, at the beginning of the movie, where Lon Chaney Jr. gets bitten or attacked by Bela Lugosi, the person that bestowed this curse upon him, and I'm just thinking, after Bela's wolf character gets killed, I would have brought in a shot just to show his feet turn back from wolf to human, just to make people in the audience go, "What the hell did I just see? What am I watching here?" I mean, from the title it's called The Wolfman, but they had not seen that yet, and that's all it would be. It would just be a little transition of the feet, and so that when Lon changes later and you see the face, they're like, "Oh wow, cool." That'd be the one little thing I would add to it. Question number 8. What are 2 really cool covers to 2 really awful films? I don't own either one of these movies, and I mean, there's probably others in my collection that I could go with, but I always liked the cover art, but the movies to me sucked. And that is It Follows, the scene where the car on the front and the chick kind of laying on the hood and all, and you're like, wow, that's kind of enticing. That's kind of really cool look. It's got the neon outline for It Follows. It looks really nice, and then you see the movie and it blows big time. This movie sucks so hard it made vacuums look outdated. At least in my opinion. And that's just what it is. It's my opinion. The next is The Witch. You have a silhouette of a naked woman running through the forest, and and you're like, well, I'm in for, some kind of like really weird witch movie, And then you see the movie and it's a period piece, and it almost makes It Follows look like a genius film. But I mean, I was so bored with that movie. I saw both of these in the theater, and both of them were just ugh. Lack of a better term, that's just what it was. I walked out going, what did I just see? I mean, they should be paying me to watch this stuff, not me paying them to get taken by lavish cover art or poster art. So there you go. Question number 9. What horror movie have you tried many times to get through but just can't? See, I don't really have an answer for this. Even if I don't like a movie, I've sat all the way through them just to make sure that I'm not missing something. It's kind of like the original Last House on the Left. I've seen that movie probably less than 10 times that I could think of, probably. But I've sat through it every time, all the way through, and it just, to me, it's not that good of a movie, but that's not the question. So I don't really have an answer of a movie that I've turned off or walked out of, So I don't really have an answer for question number 9. Maybe you will. So, question number 10. What film would you like in your horror collection and do not already own? So, there's a movie I've been looking for years, which has never gotten a North American release, and that's Blood Beach. Came out in 1980. It really is the precursor to like Tremors. There's these creatures that are living underneath the beach, and they just kind of start sucking people down through the sand, and eating them. And I remember watching a lot when I was a kid, and it was on cable all the time. And I'd wished I'd recorded it, because, like I said, it's never had a Blu-ray or DVD release in North America. I know it's got releases all around the world. I know there's like one in Germany and one in Australia, but that means you got to get a region-free player, and I don't know, just that and the Blind Dead collection. I am such a goosehead, man. I mean, so Blue Underground had the Blind Dead collection that came in the little coffin box in print for like 13 years. Every time I would go online to order something, I would think about buying it. I'm like, oh, it'll be there next time. Oh, it'll be there next time. And I was watching someone's video on YouTube, and she was saying, I just sat down and watched the first movie in the Blind Dead collection. Have you guys heard that they're going to stop printing it 13 years later? This happened like back in May. And I was like, oh, man. So I would go online, I try to find it. And that weekend, I didn't find out until like the following week. But the weekend that they said that, they basically, every place that sold DVDs and Blu-rays, it was out of stock. So I kind of just, bit the bullet on that one, saying, okay, I'm never going to own it. But that's one I've always wanted in my collection. That's one I've always put off. That's what sucks. So that's my own boneheaded fault. Number 11. If you could enter any horror film to help out, what would it be? A Nightmare on Elm Street. I would be there in the first one, hanging out with Nancy, trying to help her defeat Freddy. I mean, I just think that would be so cool. I don't know. I just that would be like. I mean, it's not my all-time favorite horror movie franchise. But when I was reading this question and thinking about it and trying to come up with an answer, I was like, not Night of the Living Dead, not a lot of movies. I mean, this one I think would just be kind of cool, just because I don't know. It'd be interesting to enter. You're in a movie, but you're also in someone's dreams, and that stuff just kind of gets the juices flowing. What is your number 12? What is your favorite tagline for a horror movie? Phantasm. If this one doesn't scare you, you're already dead. Says it all. I mean, 1979. It was just kind of like a real super creepy movie, and I like that. I just thought that was kind of a cool, very, very cool idea for a tagline for the movie. Now we're on to the 13th question. And so the thing is like 11 and 12 were questions that were added after the people that did them, added the question. So 12, the question about the tagline, that's from DVD Collector 1974, and 11 is from the guy that tagged him. And so now I'm going to add another one, and it's 13, and so when you do it, you'll have to add another question to it, and then tag the people you want. So, question number 13, my question: if you could have any prop, set piece, costume from any movie whatsoever, what would it be? Now, I know that, the Wolfman being my favorite thing, the cane from the Wolfman would be cool to have, but I want something big. I want something lavish. I want Christopher Lee's coffin from the horror Dracula films, from the Dracula films he did for Hammer. I think that would be very, very cool. I turn into like maybe something that would hold the DVDs and the Blu-rays, or maybe like a coffee table, something like that. I mean, I wouldn't change anything to it. I'd just put a piece of glass over it, and some people are like, what the hell is that? It's like, well, this is Christopher Lee's coffin, So that's it. Now I need to tag some people, and with this, I'm going to tag. Now I need to tag somebody, and I'm going to have. I'm going to start with Absolute Sublime 1, J. Who else? Who else should I? Aaron Penn, my Canadian brother. He's a good guy. He loves horror. He loves drive-in horror. He loves Italian horror. Definitely going to have him do it. Rob's Movie Collection. Another great guy. And of course, my fellow dork, my fellow friend, my fellow wicked horror family member, Tony Has 9 Fingers. Tony, I expect you to do this, somehow. But yeah, that's it. So tag, you're it. Let's have fun with this. With that, of course, I'm the 13th Wolfman. Always like, subscribe, share, and comment, and I'm on the prowl.